on that Joker up in here, man. So yeah, I want to go see it. Actually, I saw it 2 times. First time was premiere night, so I checked that out on a premiere tip. The second time, get this camera right real quick. Hold up. The second time, I saw it at the Alamo Drafthouse with my boy Gabe. Shout out to him. Thanks for the invite. He's cracking up at me because I had a very, very long work week and I literally fell asleep through most of the movie except for my favorite parts. I actually woke up for my favorite parts of the movie and watched those. You know, I had a cringe or a chuckle and then went back to sleep type thing. But that is not to deter you from going to actually see the movie. It was a good movie. It does start off slow because it is an origin story and it's basically taking you inside of the mind of the Joker and how his whole Joker persona actually developed, where it stemmed from, and the pain and anguish that he was going through while his character developed, and you kind of live that. Basically that's what takes place. So it takes a little while for that to develop. So since I've already seen that, I kind of nodded off during those parts of the movie. But for the most part, it was a good movie. Basically, he did his thing, and I really don't prejudge when all these Jokers are being portrayed, because each person who did their version of the Joker brought it to the table. I mean, except for that dude Jared Leto or whoever his name is. Because if you watch any of the Batman animation, the stuff that they turn into movies, Arkham Asylum, all that stuff, if you watch any of those, there are different versions of the Joker that are portrayed. Like there was a different version of the Joker that was portrayed in like the Red Hood animated movie. If you haven't seen the Red Hood, that's one you need to check that out. The thing with DC, yo, they be killing me with their movies. They always usually have pretty decent stories, but they be killing me with their movies. Save for like Wonder Woman, that was hot. Shazam was hot. Those two, those are really, really good. Justice League, you know, movies like that. Aquaman is probably one of the best DC films that was made live action. DC animated films are fire. Well, the storylines, adult storylines, they are all fire. I have yet to see a DC animated film that didn't leave me like, yo, that was hot. Like everyone that I've seen is hot. And the Red Hood version, I think, was the Joker that kind of like a slick talking, slick, laid back. I'm still crazy, but don't turn your back on me. I'm smooth. He was portrayed smooth, like he could have actually been a pimp. That's how smooth he was. So I think that's kind of like the version that Jared was trying to play. But for the most part, except for my man, I like pretty much all the Jokers, because everybody put their own twist on it. And of course, Heath was legendary. Still to this date, I like his version of the Joker. Don't get it twisted. Jack was twisted. Jack was already twisted.
After 1/2 mile, turn left, Highway 403, Route 403.
Really? They have going 403? Okay. Jack's Joker is classic. You feel me? Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. But you already knew Jack Nicholson was crazy in the head. We all knew that. So we already knew his Joker was going to be on point. You feel me? And then Ledger, yo, his Joker was phenomenal, bro. Phenomenal. But yo, this Joker, I gotta give it to him. He held his own.
Turn left.
Held his own as the Joker. I did enjoy his Joker. He brought just enough insanity to the Joker to be believable, especially for an origin story, because it's basically
Highway 403,
he has to
Route 403 for 2.2 miles.
he has to like embrace. Basically, it's slow, then build, and he's kind of, I don't know if I should do this. I'm taking meds so that I don't do this, and then he embraces the whole Joker, which you're forced to do as somebody watching in the audience. You take that ride with him, basically, as the story's told. Like, you're just like, okay, you'll see stuff happen. You're just like, all right, yo, that might have been my breaking point right there. I might have joked out on somebody at that point. And he took it, you know, took a couple pills and everything was all good. But he finally embraces his whole Jokerism. And at that point, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for anybody who comes in contact with him at that point, because he's already Jokered out. So, not to take anything away, but that's basically it. That's basically it. The storyline, though, I mean, like my man Gabe broke it down. I enjoyed it, but Gabe was feeling it. Don't get it twisted. He enjoyed Joaquin's version of the Joker, as I'm kind of quoting but paraphrasing what he said. Like, he enjoyed his portrayal of the Joker, but the storyline, though, like, it's like they took eclectic parts of famous movies that came up before this movie was made and put them all together to make this movie. And like, there were a couple that I hadn't recognized until he brought it up, but literally it was like pieces of The Comedian, pieces of Taxi Driver, pieces of, like, you could tell that it looked like it stole from like all of these different movies to make this movie. And then when he brought that to my attention, I was like, oh snap, yeah, it kind of did, you know. I knew there was a reason why I was like, as far as the storyline, and I couldn't put my finger on it until
after 1/4 mile, turn right.
Gabe brought up that
Highway
point.
9D, Route 9D.
So that was a good point, and then it all made sense, because I was just like, okay, that's why. Because it's like I had seen it before. It's like you feel like you've seen this before, but you haven't. But it turns out that if you saw any of these movies, you have seen it before, and that's basically what that is. Great performance by your boy Joaquin. His Joker was solid. So yeah, I'm gonna would give it a 3.75 out of 5. Normally, I would have gave it the 4, but because it stole from so many different films, like it was like I had given it like a 4.25 in the beginning, but then I saw it again, and then after Gabe broke it down for me, I was like, you know what, you're right, because it had that feeling of like, damn, I saw this somewhere before. But once he brought that to my attention, I was like, so I give it a 3.75 out of 5. Still a great watch. And I mean, it leaves it open so that if he wants to do some more Joker movies or whatever, he's in there. You know, kind of open-ended type of thing. So yeah, a couple of things dropped this week. So that Zombieland Double Tap joint, I will be going to see that because I did enjoy the first one, feel me? And then Maleficent is back in theaters this week, swooping in and taking over. I'll be checking that out. So those two, look for a review on that because I will be going to check those out. Probably check out Zombieland Double Tap tonight and get at y'all over the weekend. In the meantime, in the between time, I will holler at y'all. Movies. Thanks. It is full driving here, man.